If you're just joining us, by the way, it's Liberal Mike and AJ both on the line on the Joe Pag Show. I want to throw this at you, Mike. I want to ask you very specifically: is Kevin Jackson also a monkey who hates black people?
Kevin Jackson, I didn't call Kevin Jackson a monkey, and I'm not going to allow you to say that I am calling him.
Well, no, I'm asking you the question, and it's a valid question, Mike, because you called AJ and Chip monkeys. I wanted to know if you also think Kevin Jackson is a monkey.
Kevin Jackson wasn't parading, to his credit, a sign depicting black people.
Kevin Jackson, monkey, yes or no?
Less than American.
Kevin Jackson, monkey, yes or no?
No.
But AJ and Chip are both monkeys.
But idiot, yes.
All right, so I want to make sure I understand. You went in with a closed mind. You went, and Kevin Jackson's an idiot. AJ and Chip are both monkeys. Everybody, all three of them are black, but they hate the president only because he's black. And you can't back up your statements whatsoever as to how these guys were racist.
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
I told you what AJ and who AJ aligned himself up with. This guy Chip, who I wasn't aware of.
First of all, I didn't line myself with nobody. I went out there by myself. Chip was at the door, and Chip seen and heard my voice talking to somebody and said, "Are you who I am?" I said yes, and he came in with me. And second of all, it's a shame. It's a shame that you can't see what this president is doing to our country, and you can't be fair, because let me tell you something. He's hurting black folks. Black folks are catching heck. I don't know if you've been up in Michigan, St. Louis, Philly. Where's Jesse Jackson for the black folks, for them people in them cities? Are you understanding how black folks catching heck, but they still believe in this man? They wants to believe in this man. I wants to believe in a black man. I marched with Martin Luther King. I wanted this to happen, but I didn't want it to happen this way. You know what? He's selling the black folk out just like he's selling everybody else out. And for black folk to go along with this, who you think gonna suffer? Black folk. And he's getting ready to do immigration. And who you think gonna suffer more? Black folks. Because guess what? They're not gonna do the jobs that most of them do, and most black folk would do any job that you give them. But he's not giving jobs to black folks. He's not, progressing. I mean, he's just not letting us progress in America like we was 2 years ago. Can you not see what's going on around you, or you got to turn everything racist? I don't have a racist bone in my body. I don't care about race. Race is not no problem for me. I treat every man equal. Every man is equal in my eyesight, no matter what color, race, creed you are.
All right, AJ, hold on. AJ, I got to tell you this. So you and I have been talking for a long time on the radio, just like Mike and I have been. And I know your heart, and you have always brought it to the issues. And I know how much love AJ has for everybody, especially black folks. And we talked about Detroit over and over because we both have a history there. Mike, respond to what AJ had to say. And again, I got to tell you, I've got respect for you 90% of the time. The whole monkey stuff today, you made me sick on that stuff, Mike. Go ahead.
You know why, Joe? Because it hurts me to my heart to have to call it the way it is, because I don't like it. As far as being black or being white or being racist, Joe, I have far more white genes than AJ does. I guarantee you that. But the point of the matter is, man, listen, AJ, man, I don't know where you're coming from. You sound just like the old cliche of back in the slavery days, that fella that lives in the house.
Now he's a cliche.
Come on.
All right, oh my God! How you gonna ever get away from that slavery mentality, man?
Come on, man.
This is 2010, man. Come on.
Exactly. And it's 2010, and you don't have to do this anymore, AJ.
Wait a minute. So
you don't have to do this anymore,
what you doing, is this great for our society, what you doing?
Oh, my God, man. I mean, you guys have...
What are you going to get? What are you going to get out of this racial hatred that...
Let him respond. AJ, let him respond, because he's about to say you guys something and generalize and stereotype again. Go ahead.
What AJ and Chip did on yesterday was a denigration of a black American president.
Why are you saying AJ
AJ, stop. AJ, stop, because Mike is actually burying himself quite nicely. Let him do so. Because, Micah, I got to tell you, I love you like a brother. I really do. Now, you don't believe that because I'm white and I'm whiter than you are, so I must not really believe it. I must hate black people. But you know, you called a couple of black guys monkeys. You called them basically lap dogs and lap puppies for the Republican Party and the white race. Now you're about to say that the real root of your angst and your anger. You believe that AJ and Chip, as black Americans, have no right to denigrate the first black president. You just said so, right?
They don't. And to that degree, to attack that man on the color of his skin the way that they did. I literally wanted to throw up when I saw
How did it? Now, again, I'll ask you again, because you haven't been able to you haven't yet been AJ, stop. I love you like crazy, both of you, and this is a conversation that should have been had a long time ago, and I'm glad that we're having it today. But again, Mike, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask AJ what was on his sign, then I'm going to ask you if he's telling the truth, okay? Hold on. AJ, what specifically was on your sign?
My sign said, cut the taxes and stop spending my kids' money.
Okay, now, I'm looking at Chip's sign. It says, say no to socialism and communism. The left picture has the picture of Obama as the Joker. The right picture has that hope and change picture that kind of looks like Chairman Mao now. It says Obama with a hammer and sickle. Obama, and you can't call me a racist. I can see 12013 from my house that I pay for. Now, again, there is nothing that says a black man can't be president. Nothing says a black man is ruining the White House. Nothing that AJ had on his sign says black people suck. Nothing like that. Now, either you don't understand the definition of the word racist, Mike, or you're blinded to the fact that the man is sending us down the wrong road in America simply because of his skin color. Now, which one is it?
The one Joe, is the one you see. Black people understand the definition of racism. You can't define racism to me, Joe, because he knows culturally what he has done. Trust me, he knows it. He knows it better than you, Joe, because he's lived it. You want to put in a vacuum your definition of what constitutes racism. That man know exactly what he was doing when he and that guy walked around with that picture.
Hey, Mike, here's the problem. This is where you and I have a diversity of thought. When it comes to definitions of words in the English language, I am a wordsmith. I understand what the word racism means. You can't define it differently because of your plight in life or your walk in life or your path. The path that you took and the path that I've taken are very different. I am not a racist. You are to your core. And you're such a racist that you don't even know it, and that's what hurts me about it, because I know how intelligent you are. You are in a slave mentality that a black person can't ever say anything against another black person, no matter how racist, how off the wall, how nuts they are. You're the kind of guy that would be in the bank watching a black man walk in, rob the bank, and defend him later to the news media saying, boy, he must have a tough time at home because he's black. No, you listen, Mike, I'm going to let you speak because I'm a fair guy. I promise you that. I'm telling you what I'm seeing as an American coming from you because of your words. You hate AJ and Chip because they use their American ability to go out and their First Amendment right to go out and say what they believe about this administration, and then never once said anything about the man's skin color. You have made every assumption since then. You called them monkeys. You called them lapdogs. You called them, people who are kissing up to the white establishment. You also called Kevin Jackson that for the simple reason that they just don't agree with you politically, and the only way you can lash out at them is on their skin color, and that is completely backward. It goes against everything we work for in this country, and you, my friend, have taken us back to the days of slavery. You think that all black people have to stick together no matter what their diversity of thought is. It doesn't work that way in a free society. Go ahead, Mike.
Joe, I've been a policeman 27 years. I've put more black people in jail than you could stake a stick at. And secondly, that problem with AJ and Chip not agreeing with the black president. I have a problem with them denigrating the race of the president. That's what I got.
Oh my God!
And you believe they're denigrating the race of the president because they happen to be the same race? Is that what you're saying, Mike?
No. I think they're denigrating the race of the president by their methods and what they chose to do on yesterday.
And again, there's signs we can all agree, because we're smart, intelligent people here in this three-way conversation we're having with AJ, Liberal Mike, and Joe. We can agree that there was nothing racist on their signs. When they denigrated the way that man looks and painted They didn't paint his face white. That is a picture that's been in pop culture for more than a year now. That's a picture. That is a picture that was a follow-up to the same picture that was done of George W. Bush. I never heard you defend George W. Bush against the socialist picture, but you wanted to defend